I was asking who holds the official championship belt for Titletown. Philadelphia is conference Titletown, which, hey, that is better than us. The Texans and Rockets, pick your game up. You know, there's only one juggernaut in town. But we brought up Los Angeles in the last segment, and a texter texted in, is it LA, though? They have a bubble title and a COVID title. You're right. I mean, COVID-19 may have impacted both of the championships that they won. And let's be honest, what is a perhaps more of an asterisk? Is it sign stealing when a lot of teams across baseball were doing it? Or is it, I don't know, playing in a bubble the entire time in expanded playoffs? Or the one that the Lakers won. The Lakers have been an absolute mess when they're not in the bubble. Very interesting. What is happening? What is going on? I'll tell you what's going on. We finally might have a smoking gun when it comes to the Los Angeles Dodgers and their alleged sign stealing. Because we've been talking about it, and I'd heard about it myself, but no one's gone on record. But, interestingly, Evan Drellich's book, which is about to come out, Winning Fixes Everything. It comes out tomorrow. How baseball's brightest minds created sports' biggest mess. And we're going to have Evan on Wednesday at 11:15 to talk about this book. This passage made waves over the weekend. During the 2018 World Series, wrote Drellich, the Red Sox and Dodgers were both suspicious that their opponent was using video to steal signs. The Dodgers have always been the thing that bothers me the most. An unnamed member of the Red Sox told Drellich. That's what sucks. But we'll get back to the whole anonymous source thing in a moment. Because they're the biggest cheaters in the whole bleeping industry. Wow. More than the Astros? Because from what I understood, the Astros were the worst by a wide margin. Honestly, that's, for the most part, what Ken Rosenthal, what Evan Drellich, to what a lot of those who were covering this story were telling us. They were doing it against us, continues the article, this Red Sox member, in the 2018 World Series. They got caught by Major League Baseball, and Major League Baseball did nothing. A Red Sox source relayed a story to Drellich about the Dodgers' Joc Pederson running into the visiting video area at Fenway, where teammate Chase Utley and an MLB official were situated. Hey, did you get his signs yet? Pederson is said to have asked. And they're just like, bleeping idiot, the Red Sox source said of the league official's response, according to Drellich's reporting. Apparently nothing is done by MLB except they say, stop that bleep. Don't do that bleep. Then they go over to the Red Sox clubhouse to video operator JT Watkins, and they're like proactively scolding him, making sure he doesn't do that. And he turns to the guy and says, oh, you caught Chase Utley doing bleep? So they had some sort of scheme going on. And anyone who watched Game 7 of the 2017 World Series, you would have noticed the amount of mound visits, wild pitches, and sign crossing in that game. I remember talking with Lance McCullers about it when he was doing regular interviews with us at the flagship station in 2018. And he said, yeah, we thought that they had our signs, and it was the same thing. It was like a both-way street during that World Series. Here is what Brian McCann, right at the end of Game 7, had to say when asked by a couple of analysts on the MLB network about some of the cross-step signs. And you can hear McCann clearly knew something was going on LA's side of things.
To Game 7, but you had a lot of visits tonight.
Yeah.
Was it? No, but I'm curious.
They're going to change rules and name it the feedback.
No, they need to change.
But listen, was it you wanted to make sure you were connected with the calls? What?
Give it up.
There's a lot more going on. There's a lot more going on.
Changing signs.
Yeah.
All right.
He's cryptic,
you were
man. He
giving
thinks everyone's
signs.
stealing his signs.
You were given multiple signs with nobody on base.
Yeah.
So you were a little worried about them tipping signs, huh? Just tab
Whatever.
Hey. Okay, so
It's one of those things in baseball where everyone knows that there's sign stealing going on, and there's all sorts of different things going on, but nobody actually says anything about it. And this is what's frustrating about that clip, to go back to the part that I think allows a lot of Dodgers fans and perhaps Yankee fans and other people who don't think that their team was trying to steal signs during the great sign-stealing crisis of baseball. The problem is that you get an unidentified member of the Red Sox. I do not understand why people are not just putting their names on this and saying it was happening. Is it because baseball said if you say anything about sign stealing, we will blackball you as an employee? Because I'm assuming that if this is somebody who wants to remain anonymous, I'm assuming he is not that high up on the totem pole and could potentially be blackballed from the industry entirely if he reveals what happens behind the scenes. Which is funny. You get punished for being a whistleblower. It's not supposed to be how it works. But if there was an actual name attached to this, much like there was with Mike Fiers, doesn't this blow up? I think yes. When Mike Fiers said what he said, that gave a face to the allegations. And that's when everything hit the fan, if you will. And that's what's a bummer about this. I would like this to be the smoking gun that gets people to focus on the story and talk about this story at ESPN and at a national level. But unfortunately, without an actual name, it's not going to happen that way. It's just going to be us saying the same things that we have been saying for the last couple of years, which sucks, right? But that's what it's going to be. It's just a lot of, hey, they did it. They did it. Seriously, they did it. That's all we got. And now we can point to this, but a lot of people are going to shrug and say, like, anonymous source. Of course the Astro fan's going to look for the anonymous source to make himself feel better about his World Series title in 2017.
But it does feel like there is going to be, like, we're reaching the tipping point on this.
I don't know, Sean.
Where, like, there will be some sort of name and face that outs the because what it was for Houston was Mike Fiers, a guy who already kind of on his way out of the league.
Right.
So that's really all you need is some jilted ex-Dodgers employee of that era. It doesn't even have to be a player, really. It can be anyone involved in this scheme.
It could be, but this is why I'm hesitant to say this definitively proves anything. Is that we've had plenty of time for this to happen. Like, players have left the league in the years since this scandal broke, and you would think that you got nothing to lose. Why not just say what was on your mind or say what happened if you want to add clarity to it? And yet there isn't. So this could be, again, like baseball threatening to sue people who would say that this was going on everywhere or something else along those lines. Something's up, though. And I would love to be able to definitively say that this shows hypocrisy from the Dodgers, who really acted morally outraged by what the Astros did. And the same thing with the Yankees. And sadly, we can't quite get there. Maybe someday we will be able to. That's what sucks about this. It's like it's a tease. You're getting a little bit of something, but you're not getting everything that you want here. And I hope that when we talk with Evan that we'll get a little bit more. But I doubt that we're going to get so much more in the near future. I think we're going to have to wait like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years or something like that for somebody to finally say, like, yeah, this was going on everywhere. But I remember we were going to have an interview one day, Sean, when we were in Seattle with a baseball player who I'm not going to name, and I don't think he was playing anymore. And I remember he had said and then deleted like what he had said online, like that the Rangers were in on it, that like the Dodgers were in on it. I think the Yankees. It was a bunch of like rando teams. I think the Rockies were involved.
I was
going
to say the Rockies always jump to mind as like the other teams because they actually did have like some like. They used like a Theragun, I feel like, or so. There's one team that like used just one step above a trash can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was Theragun. It was the Theragun that they used.
I forgot if it was them or the Brewers.
The Rockies used the Theragun, yes, and I mean that really helped them, huh? I mean they suck.
That's the funniest part about all of this.
They were awful.
Is that like there's no real like it doesn't feel like there's actually any advantage in this.
That's my big thing from the whole thing has been the Astros definitely went above and beyond when it comes to the cheating, but I don't think it provided the advantage that a lot of people believe it did. It's sort of the same way I feel about Spygate. I don't think Spygate provided that much of an advantage. It was clearly cheating. But it was based off of like where the cameras were located on the field. No, it's not. It's very similar.
It cheapens his ring.
No, this is why I'm the perfect person to talk about this stuff because I will keep that same energy for these things.